Matt goes silent. No posts, no stories, no reaction. Jasmine does the opposite and puts out an apology for the whole world to see. Fans wait for the usual cycle. A reunion, a response, something loud. Nothing arrives. And somehow, that nothing lands harder than any cheating rumor ever did. This was the moment everything snapped, not with a fight, not with receipts, but with absence. Jasmine admits fault publicly, hoping honesty resets the clock. Matt chooses quiet and walks away from the noise. The shock here is not betrayal. The shock is finality. Silence turns into a decision, and decisions leave marks. Viewers keep refreshing, expecting closure, because reality TV trained everyone to expect noise at the end. But noise never comes. The quiet stretches, and the meaning sharpens. And this silence hides a choice that changes every rule fans thought applied here. So ask yourself this: when apologies meet silence, which one holds the real power? Matt and Jasmine did not arrive on screen as strangers to chaos. Viewers already knew the rhythm. Big feelings, big reactions, break up, make up, repeat. On 90 Day Fiancé, patterns matter, and this one felt familiar from day one. They showed chemistry fast, then tension faster. One minute they were posting like everything felt solid. Next minute they were arguing over trust, timing, loyalty, all the heavy stuff couples usually avoid on camera, but somehow always land right in front of it. People laughed along because it looked like the usual storm. Loud, emotional, temporary. Jasmine came across as open and intense, the kind of person who loves fully and reacts fully. Matt looked more reserved, sometimes calm, sometimes checked out, often caught between defending himself and staying quiet. That contrast turned into content. Fans joke that these two argued like a couple who already broke up 3 times and forgot to stay broken up. The on and off cycle felt baked in. Viewers expected another dip, then another reunion post, then a smiling photo with a long caption about growth, and honestly, the show trained everyone to expect exactly that. Every season brings couples who swear this time feels different, then circle right back to familiar fights. So when tension showed up again, no one panicked. The audience settled in. Popcorn energy. Social feeds filled with comments like "here we go again." Even the disagreements felt routine, like reruns with new outfits. Light humor floated around because no one thought this spiral would stick, but something underneath felt off. The arguments lingered longer. The pauses between posts stretched. The energy shifted from dramatic to tired. Instead of explosive fights followed by fast forgiveness, there was hesitation. Silence where noise used to live. Fans brushed past it at first because denial feels comfortable. If you expect a loop, you stop noticing the exit signs, and right here, the mood quietly changes in a way most people miss the first time. Matt and Jasmine were no longer playing their usual roles. The emotional script stalled. The jokes stopped landing. Even loyal viewers sensed the air thinning. This did not feel like another reset. It felt like gravity pulling in a new direction, one without a bounce back. Trust did not break all at once. It thinned over time. On screen and across public posts, the pattern stayed consistent. Old cheating allegations never fully settled. Apologies happened. Forgiveness followed. Doubt stayed. Jasmine watched closely. Messages mattered. Gaps mattered. Silence mattered. Each unanswered moment fed suspicion. Matt responded with explanations early on, then fewer words later. The shift looked subtle, yet viewers noticed tension building in small ways. Past accusations already lived in the background. Fans heard Jasmine speak openly about fear tied to earlier betrayals. Matt acknowledged mistakes publicly. Both said they wanted to move forward. Still, the behavior loop kept spinning. Checking replaced ease. Reassurance replaced trust. Fear drove reactions faster than facts. Every new situation filtered through old pain. Even neutral moments felt charged. On 90 Day Fiancé, storylines thrive on conflict, yet this felt heavier. Jasmine did not hide emotions. She shared them, sometimes too fast. Matt tried to keep things calm, sometimes too quiet. Viewers split into camps. Some sided with caution, others sided with fatigue. Both sides agreed on one thing. Peace felt distant. Social posts added fuel. Screenshots circulated. Comments spiraled. Fans read between lines which were not even there. Jasmine's fear looked understandable to many, given past wounds. Others saw a cycle repeating without healing. The core issue stayed the same. Trust never rebuilt. It hovered, fragile and strained. Then a small moment arrived, carrying heavy weight. A delivery screenshot. A name reading Elizabeth. Nothing dramatic on its own. No proof, no context yet. For Jasmine, alarms rang. History spoke louder than logic. Fear filled gaps where answers should sit. Accusation formed before verification. The situation turned volatile fast. Viewers did not yet know the truth. Neither did Jasmine at first, and once fear takes control, facts struggle to keep up. This moment mattered less for what it showed and more for what it triggered. The reaction exposed how thin trust had become. One name, one assumption, one spiral. Even if innocence waited nearby, damage already started forming. The real question shifted quietly. When trust erodes this far, truth still holds weight, or fear already won. The argument did not explode for the cameras. It unfolded off screen, then spilled out through actions everyone noticed after. Reports stayed consistent, voices raised, accusations repeated, past issues dragged back into the room. Matt tried to explain early on. Jasmine stayed locked on the screenshot. Fear drove the moment. Facts did not slow it down. The exchange stretched longer than usual, heavier than past fights. This did not feel like content. This felt personal. Then Matt left. Not stormed, not theatrically. He packed belongings and walked out. Neighbors later confirmed seeing him go. Communication stopped soon after. Calls went unanswered. Messages sat unread. This mattered because Matt rarely disappeared before. Even during messy phases, he stayed reachable. This time he cut contact. That silence carried weight, and the silence here did more damage than shouting ever did. From Matt's side, sources described exhaustion. Not anger, not revenge, fatigue. Years of defending himself. Years of explaining timelines, messages, intentions. Being treated like guilt lived on him permanently. Even during moments without proof, suspicion followed. Public accusations added pressure. Private arguments drained energy. Walking away looked less like drama and more like self-preservation. Jasmine believed the accusation stood, at least at first. She spoke publicly later about feeling betrayed again. Fans reacted fast. Some supported her pain. Others questioned the rush to accuse. The divide sharpened. Still, everyone waited for confirmation. Screenshots, receipts, something concrete. Nothing appeared right away. Matt did not counter publicly. No denial posts. No defensive stories. No explanation videos. Silence stayed firm. For viewers used to confessionals and rebuttals, this felt strange. Reality TV teaches people to expect a response. Matt refused the script. That refusal changed the tone completely. The house stood empty of resolution. Jasmine processed anger mixed with certainty. Matt processed departure mixed with relief. Outside, voices grew louder while the core truth stayed unclear. Accusation traveled faster than verification. Emotion outran evidence. And right here, the story tilts in a way few expected. This moment marked the shift from chaos to consequence. Matt leaving was not a threat or a pause. It felt like a door closing quietly. The question hanging in the air grew uncomfortable. Was the accusation even correct? Or did fear push everyone past the point of return? Then the floor drops out from under the accusation. The name Elizabeth never belonged to a woman. It matched a location tied to a delivery address. A place, not a person. The screenshot never showed proof of cheating. Once the context surfaced, the meaning flipped fast. What looked like betrayal turned into a misunderstanding fueled by fear and old wounds. The realization hit Jasmine hard. Regret followed quickly. Publicly, she posted an apology and owned the mistake. She admitted fear drove the reaction. She admitted trauma shaped the assumption. She asked for forgiveness without blaming edits or pressure. That moment mattered. Not because it fixed anything, but because it showed awareness. Viewers paused. Empathy replaced mockery. Even critics softened. Owning fault on reality TV rarely happens without excuses. Jasmine chose honesty, and this apology shifts the story from scandal into consequence. The tone changed overnight. Fans rewound the timeline. The accusation no longer stood. The damage still did. Trust already cracked. Words already traveled. Matt already left. Apologies arrived after impact. Timing turned into the real issue. Accountability felt sincere. Repair felt uncertain. Supporters praised Jasmine for taking responsibility. Detractors questioned why verification never happened earlier. Both sides agreed on one point. The apology came late. Matt stayed silent. No acknowledgement, no response, no path back appeared. Silence hardened into distance. This moment revealed something uncomfortable. Truth arrived. Damage stayed. Accountability showed growth. Forgiveness did not follow. Reality TV often sells the idea that honesty resets everything. This situation challenged that belief. Actions stacked up over time. One apology struggled against years of tension. Jasmine unblocked Matt. She waited. She hoped. Silence answered instead. Public regret met private absence. The contrast felt brutal. Fans watched in real time as expectation faded. No reunion post followed. No mutual statement appeared. The story refused a clean ending. And right here, viewers realize apologies do not always reopen closed doors. This reversal stripped away the cheating narrative completely. What remained looked raw: fear, assumptions, reaction before confirmation, then consequence. The question now sits heavy and unresolved. When damage stacks this high, does accountability still work? Or does timing decide everything? Matt says nothing. Days pass, then more days. No post, no story, no vague quote, no response to the apology. Reality TV lives on reaction, and Matt refuses to react. Silence takes center stage and holds attention better than any argument ever did. Viewers refresh feeds expecting a crack. None appears. The absence feels intentional. Calm replaces chaos. Noise fades out. This choice lands heavy because fights feel familiar. Fights signal engagement. Fights signal attachment. Silence signals distance. Matt stepping back removes oxygen from the drama. Without his voice, the cycle stops spinning. Fans notice how different this feels from past blow-ups. No back and forth, no defense tour, no emotional dump. Silence draws a clean line, and this quiet choice changes how every earlier moment reads. In reality television, silence breaks the contract. Cast members usually explain, they justify, they defend. Matt does none of that. Sources close to him describe a boundary, not punishment, not strategy. A boundary built from exhaustion, years of being questioned, years of suspicion following every move. Even innocence required proof. Living under that weight wears people down. Walking away starts to look peaceful. This calm shifts the story. Jasmine processes regret publicly. Matt processes relief privately. Viewers feel unsettled because silence refuses closure. Silence blocks reconciliation arcs. Silence removes the usual tell-all payoff. The audience expects mess. Instead, distance grows. Silence also sends a message without words. No interest in reopening wounds. No interest in public repair. No interest in repeating the same conversation again. This restraint reads stronger than anger. Anger invites response. Silence denies access. Speculation swirls outside. Inside, nothing changes. Matt stays quiet. That steadiness speaks volumes. Fans start connecting dots, leaving the house, cutting contact, ignoring outreach. Silence lines up with action. The pattern points forward, not back, and this silence hints toward a future already forming off camera. A person moving on rarely announces plans. Distance does the talking. Matt appears settled in his decision. Calm suggests acceptance. No teasing of reunion. No soft launch of forgiveness. The path ahead looks private. The story stops chasing noise and starts following absence. Not long after the silence settles in, sightings start to circulate. Low-key, no flashy posts, no hard launch. People report seeing Matt with the same woman more than once. Public places, normal energy, smiles without tension, nothing staged, no cameras chasing, no captions begging for attention. The reports stay consistent across sources. This woman stays outside the franchise. No interest in screen time, no interest in commentary. The contrast stands out immediately. This does not look like a rebound tour. Matt appears relaxed, grounded, present. After months of emotional turbulence, calm becomes noticeable. Viewers used to chaos struggle to process this shift. The tone flips. Less drama, more distance, less explanation, more boundaries, and this calm presence reframes the breakup in a way nobody expected. The new relationship does not read like revenge. No subtweets, no shade, no performance. Matt does not use this moment to hurt Jasmine publicly. He protects privacy instead. Friends describe this choice as intentional. After years of emotional exposure, he chooses quiet. Stability replaces volatility. This difference changes how the past looks. Silence no longer feels cold. It feels deliberate. Fans react in real time. Shock lands first, then disbelief, then debate. Some argue the move happened fast. Others point out how long the relationship felt broken already. Timelines get reviewed. Emotions flare. Still, one detail remains: steady. Matt never speaks publicly. The new relationship stays out of the spotlight. That restraint shapes perception. The contrast sharpens the story. Chaos lived loudly before. Calm now lives quietly. The difference exposes how drained Matt likely felt. Boundary setting becomes visible through action, not words. Leaving the noise behind reads less like abandonment and more like self-respect. This framing matters. It shifts blame away from betrayal and toward limits. Jasmine processes this shift publicly. Fans track reactions closely. Sympathy mixes with critique. The audience splits again. Some feel pain for her, others note consequences. Both sides agree the dynamic changed forever. The door did not close with a slam. It closed without a sound, and once viewers absorb this contrast, the conversation turns outward. Attention moves from the couple to the crowd watching them. Reactions grow louder than the principles involved. The lens shifts. What does this say about audience expectations, forgiveness arcs, and how fast people demand closure from lives that keep moving forward? The audience reaction shifts fast once the calm settles in. At first, sympathy floods in for Jasmine. Many viewers recognize fear shaped by past hurt. People post support, saying reactions like hers come from pain, not malice. Then doubt creeps in. Comments start asking why verification never came before accusation. Screenshots get reanalyzed. Timelines get questioned. The tone cools. Fatigue follows close behind. The same viewers who once defended emotional outbursts start sounding tired. Social feeds fill with phrases about cycles and patterns. Sympathy does not disappear, yet patience thins. The mood changes from protectiveness to frustration. People stop arguing sides and start questioning the story itself, and right here, the audience starts rewriting the narrative on its own. Scroll through comments and the shift becomes obvious. Early posts say healing takes time. Later ones say trust needs proof. Some say they would have reacted the same way. Others say they would have paused first. The loudest theme becomes repetition. Viewers point out how many times fear led the moment. They ask how many resets a relationship deserves. So let me ask you something without breaking the flow. If trust breaks once, forgiveness feels possible. If trust breaks again and again, does empathy survive forever? And if someone apologizes, honestly, does timing still decide the outcome? As Matt stays silent, the audience fills the space with judgment. Silence invites projection. People read intention into absence. Some praise boundaries. Others call it cold. Debate stays heated because no one gets closure from the source. Reality TV usually answers questions. This time, the audience answers for itself. Jasmine's role starts shifting in public perception. No longer the center of a messy romance, she becomes a person standing alone with accountability and consequence. Fans debate her future openly. Some hope growth follows. Others say the storyline feels complete. Engagement metrics tell the story quietly. Fewer people ask for updates. More people move on. And once attention fades, the real risk shows up. This is where career stakes rise. Reality TV rewards chaos until chaos feels repetitive. Producers watch audience energy closely. Fatigue translates into decisions. Sympathy without engagement does not sustain screen time. Jasmine now faces a moment bigger than the breakup. The question no one says out loud, yet sits heavy. Does her story still pull viewers forward, or has the audience already turned the page? Behind the scenes, stories like this trigger a different kind of reaction. Not emotional, operational. Reality television tolerates drama because drama drives scenes. Yet production draws a line when emotion starts disrupting schedules, safety, or control. This relationship had already tested that line. Reports from insiders point to frequent delays, last-minute changes, and emotional flare-ups that slowed filming. Nothing explosive enough to shut things down at first, enough to raise concern over time. On 90 Day Fiancé, intensity often gets framed as passion. Producers know how to shape it. They lean into arguments, pull back during tears, then push toward resolution. That balance works until volatility stops being predictable. When reactions escalate without warning, production loses its rhythm. Schedules slip, crews wait, storylines stall, and this is where entertainment quietly turns into risk. Emotional instability creates uncertainty. Uncertainty costs money, more security, more planning, more editing fixes. Sources describe growing hesitation behind the camera long before Matt left. Concerns focused less on drama and more on containment. Would scenes finish on time? Would conversations stay within bounds? Would off-camera moments spill into public accusations again? The Elizabeth misunderstanding amplified those fears. An unverified assumption turned into a public claim within hours. From a production standpoint, that moment matters. Not because it looked messy on screen, because it showed how quickly private fear could become public narrative without oversight. That shift changes trust between cast and network. Once Matt exited entirely, the equation changed again. Producers lost a balancing force in the storyline. Without him, the arc no longer pointed toward resolution. No couple therapy scene, no reconciliation, tease, no payoff episode. The breakup escaped the edit room. It happened in real time outside the usual guardrails. This forced a reassessment. A storyline built on tension needs structure. Chaos without direction drains crews and audiences alike. Executives reportedly began questioning sustainability, not punishment, practical evaluation. Can this story move forward without repeating the same pattern? Can it stay compelling without crossing into instability? And right here, the breakup stops being personal and starts being professional. The lens shifts from romance to viability. This moment likely altered how producers view Jasmine's place going forward. Not because of one mistake, but because the structure holding the drama together finally cracked. After the noise fades, something else becomes visible. Absence. Jasmine posts less. When she does, the tone shifts. Fewer fiery statements, more reflection. Regret shows up without repair, following behind. She owns the mistake. She sits with the outcome. Nothing moves backward into place. That gap weighs heavy. This phase feels slower, quieter. The energy that once drove the storyline pulls inward. Jasmine no longer reacts to Matt because Matt no longer reacts at all. Silence creates isolation. Not dramatic isolation, real isolation. The kind where accountability exists without reward. Growth starts here for some people. For others, repetition waits nearby. And this quiet stretch forces a harder look inward than any argument ever did. Support remains, yet attention thins. Fans scroll past more often. Sympathy stays present, yet urgency fades. The public apology did what apologies do best. It cleared the conscience. It did not reopen doors. Jasmine appears to understand this now. Her words feel measured, her presence restrained. She stops chasing closure that never arrives. This is where reflection deepens. Fear drove reactions. Pain shaped assumptions. Ownership followed too late to undo consequences. That realization lands heavy. Regret without repair hurts more than regret with forgiveness. Growth asks for patience. Repetition tempts familiar patterns. The difference between the two decides the next chapter. Viewers sense this crossroads. Comments grow quieter. Debate slows. Some people root for personal change off camera. Others believe the arc already finished its course. Both reactions share one truth. The story no longer feels unfinished. It feels settled. Isolation also changes identity. Jasmine spent seasons defined by relationships, conflict, reconciliation. Now she stands alone in the frame. No partner to react to. No argument to escalate. Just self-awareness and consequence. This space feels uncomfortable because reality TV rarely lingers here. It prefers movement. It prefers noise, and this stillness raises a question no promo wants to ask. Does this chapter close her run on the franchise? Or does growth carve out a new role no one expected to see? This is how the story ends. Not with a fight. Not with a reunion. Not even with agreement. It ends quietly. Love does not collapse here. It fades. Silence steps in and stays. No reset button appears. No late-night reconciliation post changes the outcome. Consequences linger without drama to soften them. Matt's silence becomes the final word. Not punishment, not cruelty, finality. In a genre built on second chances, this ending feels unfamiliar. Reality TV trains viewers to expect noise at the end. Someone always explains. Someone always returns. This time, no one does. Silence closes the loop. Jasmine's apology mattered. Accountability mattered. Growth mattered. Timing mattered more. Once trust eroded beyond repair, truth arrived too late to reverse momentum. Love ended not because of one mistake, but because too many moments stacked without healing. Quiet made that clear. This is the part viewers rarely see. The aftermath that does not convert into content. Two people moving in opposite directions without spectacle. One choosing calm. One choosing reflection. No villain, edit. No redemption arc. Just consequence. And that may be the hardest ending to accept. On 90 Day Fiancé, silence almost never wins. Drama usually gets rewarded. This time, restraint did. Love ended without fireworks, and somehow that made it feel more real. The story does not ask who was right. It asks what happens when silence becomes the boundary no argument can cross. And if this quiet ending felt heavy, it might be because another couple in this franchise is heading toward the same place. No scandal, no cheating, reveal, just a moment where silence may speak louder than anything else.